What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Everyday Struggle and Complex News. I'm Nadeska here with Star Wayno and DJ Akademiks. Gentlemen, good morning.
What's going on? Good. It's the deal.
Are you guys feeling today?
Great.
I'm feeling good. Feeling energized.
Yeah, ready to talk about more Tekashi because he's going to make sure he's talked about almost every day.
Nah, it's not. By the way, Chops is doing the topics. It's not. You're thinking I'll be sneaking it in there like, yo, let's get him on. He be like, yo, he gotta be something to act.
Right? All right, so look, yesterday his video pitch to be on the 2018 XXL Freshman list was temporarily removed from their website, which of course led him to Instagram, telling fans that the voting might be rigged.
Yo, so I just seen that XXL got the votes for XXL Freshman. I was aware that my XXL pitch came down for like 12 hours for some apparent reason. I'm leading the pitch views and everything by a big margin. I want to see if this XXL Freshman list is rigged or not. So go vote for me. Go vote for Tekashi 69. Go vote for me right now.
All right.
How do I vote for Bozo? No, seriously. How do I vote? He's popping. And why did it come down, his pitch? Do we know?
Well, actually, I do know. Apparently, they said it was some sound issue, and they took it down, and they put it back up. This shit rigged, man. This shit rigged. Hey, listen, man. I keep telling people the freshman cover is like an award show.
Right.
You got to stop looking at these things like it's merit-based. It's all about money. And you can imagine for XXL, it's the biggest look of the year for them. They probably have millions, if not tens of millions of dollars in sponsorships, and the people on these covers are not only the quote-unquote hottest in hip-hop, but they don't want no one who has like anything that could affect the money that's coming in for the cover. That sponsorships might be like, I want to stand next to you. I told him from the get-go, I said, man, you do have some charges that a lot of people, whether you want to say they misunderstand them, they are real. And for that, for the rest of your career, people won't stand next to you, and you're gonna have to accept that. And you thrive off controversy, so you better make the best of it. And I think this is what happened here.
Okay, but the pitch is back up.
Pitch is back up.
And to his credit, he's saying, let's see if it's rigged. He's not saying, yo, this shit is rigged. Yeah.
But basically, if he doesn't make it on, then he's gonna be like, it's rigged. It's just a good setup on his part, always, right?
But right now, he's just saying, let's see. He's not totally shitting on it, in my opinion.
Yeah, and what I mean rigged too is that 10 spot thing where it's like, oh, fans vote whoever they want on. I think it's just the honest way of putting on, and I was telling Wayne, of putting someone on a list that either the fans can't understand why they're there or the sponsors can't understand why they're there. For example,
do you think the sponsors may have had something to do with the pitch coming down?
Well, no, not the pitch coming down. I think the sponsors don't want that nigga on the list, right? I think you have to justify it some way, somehow. Oh, he don't have enough votes. Oh, you're not the guy with the most amount of views on your pitch. The shit was going very viral yesterday. Take that shit down for a couple hours.
I'm gonna vote for him. Real talk.
I mean, regardless of votes, regardless of any of his antics, I think he deserves to be on there. He deserves to be on there. If we're talking about him being an artist, him putting out a project, him having all these records, he deserves to be on there. But I don't know if this shit is rigged or not, man. Like, it's just, if he doesn't make it, it's unfortunate. But I could see why when you bring up him having the charges and all of that shit, because people are not gonna want to stand next to him, whether they're true or not, or him trying to explain. He doesn't have that time, to explain that to these corporations. So,
well, I won't put both you guys in the foot or the shoes of like a CEO of a magazine or a media company or even a top editor, where you have millions of dollars on the line, and now we're living in the climate. Shit, there's a lot of people who they don't like when XXXTentacion gets coverage because he has pending charges. They don't like Kodak Black getting certain coverage. And of course, we saw the video with NBA Youngboy. If you have something like a list, do you say, man, fuck what the sponsors want, I'm gonna keep the integrity and I'm gonna just do it merit-based. If you deserve it, just off your music, I'll put you on. Or do you think, man, I'm not gonna fuck up this money, fuck your feelings, I'm gonna make sure whatever list that's gonna be on it has to be a mix of both.
I think it's a balancing act. He has explained the charges and the conviction on multiple occasions. I somewhat sort of believe him. And again, I'm nobody's fan, but I do know how the system can be designed to make you cop out, to take the deal. Because if you blow trial, you're gonna sit down for a decade or more. That's sadly, that's the law of the land with a lot of young people. If they don't have the money for legal fees, yeah, I got to take this deal, whether I did it or not. And I'm not trying to discredit the young female at that particular point in time. But I tend to believe him, and I think that we as a nation have to be a little bit more understanding now, because we just have everybody who's just attack, you know.
Right.
So to what you're saying about, you know, a corporation, money, dollars, there has to be some type of balancing act. And to go back for a second, since you put XXX in the fucking equation here, there's a video out there on that fucking bozo. I mean, I won't go into it too deep, but, you know, I would tend to give Tekashi a chance.
The crazy thing about all of this is that when we talk about these pending charges, they're not just pending charges, they're pending charges or allegations against women. Especially right now with, you know, the Me Too movement rising and all of that. Whether he deserves it or not, you kind of can't play the fence on certain shit. Like, you just got to be one way or the other.
But does he have pending charges? He has a conviction.
He has a conviction.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a
Doesn't have
conviction.
pending charges.
Yeah, I was just
He has a
going because,
conviction.
well, we were speaking about, you know, X briefly and other artists briefly about their pending charges. A lot of artists have pending charges for gun charges, all types of shit. But when we talking about putting your hands on a woman or allegedly sexually assaulting a woman.
What do you mean playing the fence, though?
I mean, you have to say, I'm not doing this shit. There is no in between. Like, I don't think you can really entertain him even being on this shit, for real. I mean, they already have, but ultimately, when you think about what he has up against him, you have to make a decision. And that decision is really gonna be based on what you did or didn't do.
So, and you're right. I agree with that wholeheartedly. You can't play the fence. And this is one of my critiques with XXL, right? Mm-hmm. They explained, another guy who's from Chicago, famous Dex, they said, hey, he had all the things that we needed to put him on the list, but there was a video that came out of him hitting his girlfriend. We could not put him on the list. At that time, no way.
Right.
But then they put X on the list, right? And again, which side are you on? But then they explained away by saying, oh, we didn't do it, the fans did it, right? Now it's this situation. Yeah. Are they gonna say, no, we picked Tekashi if he does make it, or are they gonna say, no, the fans picked him? Regardless, you're playing the fence.
Yeah.
Because
I'm just speaking about me. You said put in my you know, if I had to.
And I think playing the fence is what's got us here. Like, if they came out and said, listen, if you got any type of charges or allegations or something that we even see that there's a little bit of proof that you did something to a woman, you're not making it. We don't give a fuck how hot you are,
okay,
how much you sold.
Based upon what you're saying now and what I think you're saying, should XXX be removed from his position last year based upon the new video that just came out since you mentioned it?
No, because they can't go back and rewrite the past.
They can't.
And again.
Sure you can. Sure you can. He can be disqualified. Happens all the time.
Yeah, but once an artist passes the XXL list, they don't really need it anymore. Like,
I'm just talking about the credibility of the list. Show some fucking integrity. You're disqualified. The video bothers the shit out of me. I didn't want to mention it, but it bothers, and I'm not even a father. It bothers me.
Let me ask you a question though. So, I get it with the integrity part, but XXL probably made millions off that kid being on the list.
Okay.
So you disqualify him, but you still got all
made the money. Now you're disqualified.
That's still a little bit.
Stand up for victims. Cheap. I would like to see that. I would like to see that.
If they're like, hey, we're taking him off the list, but all the money we made or a portion of the money we made from the cover,
donate it to some charity.
For that, I'd be like, okay, I get it. Okay. But don't keep the money and then say fuck them.
But the thing about it is, like, this is not sports. It's like, you know, in sports, they could take your Heisman or your MVP. They could take that shit. Trophies. They could take all that shit away. It's like, what can we take now? I mean, at this point, we're just now seeing this video or whatever, but what can you take from them? You can't get rid of all the books you've already sold.
And you know what, though? By the way, the video is disgusting, right? Some people are trying to say they were playing. I heard, and I'm not too sure if this is 100% correct, the young woman, she kind of came out and said, no, we weren't playing.
She did come out.
I was scared, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Very serious video. The video, if you look at how he looks compared to how he looks now, the video seems like he may have been 4 years old. And
that don't matter when a man is hitting a woman.
You're right. Yeah. You're right. And he has current charges for things like that. But then we do also got to get into the conversation of, like, for most of these guys that even we're talking about for the freshman list, they got some past shit up their sleeves. Like, should we really, like, dig up everything they got going on? I mean, I think the timing of that coming out was a little bit sus, but of course the video is trash in general.
But back to Tekashi, again, he says, let's see if it's rigged. And again, I think that he may have taken a deal and a plea because, as he said, he didn't have money for a lawyer. And I would give him a chance to put him on the list. That's just me personally.
Yeah. As an artist, he deserved to be on the list.
Yeah, for me, you see, I still want to look at that list as a merit-based thing. So if the list isn't representative of what the fans believe should be there, you lose credibility.
Feel you on that too.
All right, well, no matter what happens with Tekashi and this freshman list, like, no one's gonna tell him that he's not the king of New York, especially when he has 50 Cent giving him the cosign.
Hey, 50. Hey, girl.
I mean, we here, man. This the real New York City, man.
Tell them what you
know
running.
what I'm saying?
Tell them what you running.
New York moms, right?
Tell them what you running.
New York is mom, man. What you talking about? And we ain't wearing no gloves. They know us.
Does this lend some credibility to his argument?
Let me say it again. Hey, 50. Hey, girl. That's my guy. We're very, very cool. But what's with 50 always with the young rappers? He befriended Chief Keef once upon a time. Didn't he buy him a fucking Maserati or some shit like that?
They got like a GQ cover or something like that.
No, that's
Soulja Boy.
Soulja Boy.
Soulja Boy. Okay,
Double
that's-
XL.
Yeah, Soulja Boy. They hate to miss nothing.
Yeah.
And he's hanging out with Troy Ave when he got, shot up. Why is he always with the younger rappers?
Yeah.
I'm
Does
just
50
curious.
say this because he really believes it, or is this just a
I don't know.
job for
You
him?
never know what to expect from 50. I don't look. Here he
Wayno.
goes. Here he goes. Here he goes. I'm not gonna let it
I
happen
didn't
today.
hear
Act.
50 in that video talking about, nigga, you not selling out the Barclays. Nah, he said, tell him what you run. Tell him what you run. Wayno, was 50, let's ask Wayno some hard
Come on,
questions.
Wayno.
What?
Was 50 the king of New York at one point, or maybe he still is? It take long to answer, man.
I
50 wasn't the
don't. You
king
know
of
what?
New York at one
I never considered 50 the king of New York because when he still was reigning, Jay was still better than him as a rapper. That was at the time. That was the criteria to being a better rapper. Now 50 was outselling everybody, but I don't think he had better music than Jay. That's just my personal opinion.
This nigga always find his way to just like Weasel. Yo,
That's my
Jay
personal
gotta
opinion.
Tweet out that Tekashi run to New York for him to believe it. Jay, send that tweet out, or Blue Ivy just type on it out.
Ivy.
Yo, all right.
Hey man, leave the kids out of this.
What I will say is that 50 understands this is trolling. 50 is a person that depends
Yeah,
on
he's the
trolling,
master troll.
right? And also in terms of 50 is fucking with the new hot guy who has a little bit of street element. Yeah, you're right. Chief Keef, Soulja Boy, Troy Ave. Like, he keeps himself close to those people. And I think 50 kind of seen how he came up. Like, 50 came out with How to Rob. And he probably seen like, yo, I went at all these motherfuckers, and when people thought it was gonna crash and burn for me, it actually worked. And I finessed it on some business level to be really a mogul. I'm seeing this kid kind of saying, fuck it, I'll be for all you niggas.
Right.
What's up? And I think 50 does admire that a little bit in terms of the King of New York shit. And we saw 50 address this too with when who he Star said is the King of New York. Kendrick came out on Control and said, I'm the King of New York. 50 came out and said, it ain't my job to say he's not. You niggas need to go defend that. So 50 is not in a place of saying, if anybody claims they're the King of New York, I need to go check him. 50 is like, if you niggas can't respond or can't claim it yourself, fuck it.
I want to
50
counter.
already did his thing.
I want to counter what you said because I was on Hot 97 at the time, and 50 Cent most certainly was the King of New York on some bullshit. Jay-Z lost a lot of credibility after Ether came out. Yes, he did. And the tide had shifted. People were riding with Nas. So if you're talking about popularity, credibility, rhymes, Ether came out and leveled the whole fucking playing field. And that's when 50 moved in there. He most certainly was the king.
I'm confused.
The station was on his dick. We were bumping G-Unit and 50 Cent night and day and night. Jay-Z was there, yes, but he most certainly was the king of New York at one time.
Wait, now, when Ether came out, I wouldn't say Jay lost credibility. He lost the battle. He did lose the battle. He didn't lose credibility. In what sense do you lose credibility?
I was on the radio, and yeah, people were like, people had their heads held low.
And also,
I mean,
speaking of which, Jay did admit, he said when that 50 wave came back, I told everybody at Rockefeller, we falling back. Let this shit come
yeah. No, 50 is like some shit we've never seen. Like when he
how do you
came
think
out.
he wasn't the king, like even for a short period.
What I'm saying is that you asked me what I felt, right? I based it on being the better rapper, right? Now, Yeah, he ran shit when it came to business, this is that and the third. Vitamin Water, G-Unit Records, everybody, even Tony Ayo went platinum. Everybody went platinum on G-Unit, right?
G-Unit tank tops?
Everything.
Double platinum, triple platinum, get it right.
Oh, shit.
I don't know if Tony Ayo went triple, but I know Lloyd Banks did.
50.
He went diamond.
What we talking about?
He went
50.
diamond. Yeah, 50 went diamond. I'm not
Twice.
I'm not discrediting that at all. You just asked me what I thought. Now my opinion might be biased because I was working for Rockefeller.
I was just about to
Objectively
say.
speaking, objectively speaking, let's say 50 was the king of New York or a strong contender at one point. And move the argument forward in that direction, right?
But all right, now look, when we say why 50 was the king, right? That's why I guess the criteria is changing now, right? Because Tekashi, with everything he has, he ain't no 50 Cent. He ain't no Jay-Z. At best, he's not none of them. At best.
But clearly 50 could see the change in time.
50's having fun, man. 50's having fun. I'm not discrediting that. He's having fun.
Wayno with the spin factor.
By the way, you're right.
Euro steps, you know what I mean?
By the way, I keep telling y'all about trolling. Some people take it super serious.
Yeah.
Yo, I do believe I compared Tekashi to Donald Trump. You say some shit, it's wild, outlandish, and when people kind of get mad at it, you just keep saying it and doubling down. I think I'm building a wall. What? You building a I'm building it 20 feet high. Nigga, the fuck y'all talking? So you know what I mean?
We still ain't seeing the wall this year too, right?
You kind of get people more like agitated about it, and I could tell 50 understands that 50's humor on social media, whether he's clowning Floyd, which is supposed to be his friend, or whoever, immaculate.
But for the record, I do not hate Tekashi, right? And I like positive Tekashi. I said this in the green room. I like positive
Wayno lives
Tekashi.
in Jersey now. He might not really know.
I don't know the Jersey.
Oh,
shit.
That means nothing coming from this guy.
You gotta check in with Act.
In Jersey?
Yeah.
50 gave a big cosign, man. If Nas came out, I'd be like, I know he ain't got no bars like I was thinking,
if Nas or Jay say the shit, it would be taken super serious because they're looked at as better rappers and better lyricists than 50 Cent.
Okay,
50
you're
Cent.
looking in terms of like rapping.
Yeah, in terms of rapping. Now, if Nas or Jay-Z said that shit, I'd be like, whoa. But 50 has always been a great artist, but lyrically, he never was the caliber of a Jay or a Nas. He sold records and all of that. I'm just talking about his ability.
And that's where I think we could agree to disagree, because when I think about running or being the king of New York, yeah, of course, like your lyrics and your talent matters, and 50 is very talented. But I look at in terms of your movement. Like, is your movement the biggest thing happening at that time? And there was multiple movements happening in New York at the same time with Dipset, The Lox, but when we saw G, when it came, like it was a fucking...
That was some shit we never seen.
Exactly,
It was
so...
crazy.
I mean, I guess there's different criteria.
Absolutely.
Stop hating on 50, man.
Oh, this guy, man, always with some hating on somebody's shit.
All right, so we got some new music from G Herbo. So this was originally recorded as a freestyle for a Dallas radio station, but it went viral. A few rappers, including Drake, encouraged him to turn it into a real song. So this is the Who Run It remix featuring Lil Uzi.
Who run it? Who run it?
Don't let me run.
Huh? Who run it? Hold on.
Who y'all think y'all fooling? Not me, y'all niggas really ain't air enough. Who's supposed to stop trying to scare something? You shit, we ain't trying to pass something.
Balenciaga with the Gucci and the Prada with the Louis and the Gucci and it's all mixed match. Homies Lil Uzi and the fire from the Goofy. Inside rap 150 be strapped. Got it for the shorty, boy better get back.
Inside rap 150 be strapped.
How long, bro? If I just hurt myself and hit me. Be quiet, bro. Them niggas over there turn 6.
All right, hot or nah?
A lot of times people be forgetting that Uzi's actually from Philly, man, and Uzi could spit at times. I'm not saying he's spitting the most top tier bars and nothing like that, but you know what I mean? I think a lot of times people chalk up the quote mumble rappers as niggas that just can't rap or do not have the ability or wouldn't even try. I like G Herbo's part clearly because that shit was so natural on a freestyle that he had to record in a song. Uzi sounds decent, but I'd probably have to hear the full song because Uzi hit like a different tone there. I was like, I don't know if he's about to start singing again or he's still rapping, but it sounded decent.
I was just going to say, I can't say hot or nah right now. I would like to hear more. I just became aware, I know G Herbo as Lil Herb from a while back. I'm not going to say back in the days, he's not that old. So I'm just getting up to speed, and I don't know Lil Uzi to be a quote-unquote rapper. I like his singing, the melody. I like the hooks on his music. I like his music, genuinely, as much as I can. So
his real early days, he used to rap a lot like this until he realized what pops off.
What would his early days be? 2 years ago? I mean,
Uzi been in for 5.
Well, he's been popping since like 2015.
That's still new.
Like 2013, he was like really just rapping a different tone.
Yeah,
I would like to hear more of that track before I say hot or not. I don't want to be that critical. Again, I like to let the younger generation come through and find their footing. So.
Well, I would say, the thing I would say is hot about this is the influence from 3 6 Mafia still having of today. This song came out, what, like 2001, 2000, Who Run It? With Crunchy Black, 3 6 Mafia, DJ Paul, Juicy J.
Okay.
And for them to be sampling that just goes back to the conversations we was having before and prior about appreciating what came before you. So that's the part that's hot, but I gotta hear the whole record.
Yeah, Herbo's phenomenal. I'm glad he's getting a lot of shine from this.
Absolutely.
All right, so we got one more song from DJ ESCO. This is Walkthrough featuring Nas and Future.
Can't even trust niggas that say they love you. Niggas put more trust in women when it comes to this hustle. Cause everybody thought my mind and muscle was enough. Nobody ever knew my shorty was who found the plug. Maybe cause she cute, they think she will not set them up. She used to take a separate car from us to go pick up. 33 for a brick. I only make 3 G's, gotta save money.
All right, so this is on ESCO's new project, Colorblind. It's out March 30th. How do you feel about this one?
I'm fucking with this.
Okay.
I listened to it a few times. I mean, DJ ESCO, when he dropped the ET tape, he's been known for making good records. Too Much Sauce, 100 Racks.
That shit was fire.
Hell yeah. Like, what I liked about this was how I wanted to hear Future and Nas together. A lot of people don't know that Future and Nas have the same manager. I mean, shout out to my man Anthony Saleh. But I like this record. I'm fucking with this joint, for sure.
All right, hot.
I don't know. I ride with Nas heavy, but he takes so long to come out in between projects. I think it's a good thing that he and Future, did a track together. Would I personally listen to it more than once? I honestly don't know. I'm not hating on it, but I can't say, yo, it's fire, yeah. I'm a man of a certain age. I like to see the new gunslingers come through. Something like this, I can appreciate it without shitting on it, and I can just say, okay, cool. Let's put it in that category, and let me keep it pushing. And again, I'm a man of a certain age, but I don't live the lifestyle of a man my age. I'm single. I date women half my age. Not that I chase them. They gravitate towards me. So I had to say that. So something like this, I wouldn't necessarily play it in my car. I would listen to it for research purposes, but would I listen to it when I'm riding around? Probably not. And Nas is my guy, I'll say that. But just objectively speaking, it's okay.
Y'all rock with this song. I like how DJ ESCO has been moving, especially since the ET tape.
Yeah.
I feel like he's bringing interest in pairs, kind of like sometimes we see Khaled do.
Right.
And I do think ESCO, if he gets that big personality to fucking scream like a lion, like be the best over track, he might be able to do something special, because these combinations that on paper at first, even though you mentioned they got the same manager, a Future Nas track, I'm like,
yeah, you like,
what are we doing here?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Aha.
But it didn't sound bad. It didn't sound bad.
Sound bad.
Or it didn't sound unnatural or forced. Did it sound like a smash hit? No. But of course, it's a track, I think, to bring people in, and it did.
I mean, the thing is that, every record that we hear is not gonna be a smash hit. Some things is just like for value. I mean, it sounded like Nas, like, we didn't get like one of those crazy Future hooks that we're used to getting. If we'd have got that shit and Nas trying to be on some bouncy shit, then I'd have been like, oh, what are we doing? But
right.
It was Nas being Nas. It was Future, like the way Future did his hook, it was like he knew exactly what he was there to do. So I listened to this shit like 3 times last night. It's a dope joint. Like, if you fuck with Nas, this joint is for you. For
it has its place in history. Again, let me just say that. I take nothing from it, but just, it's not something I would say, gotta hear that track again.
It's cool.
Okay. All right, so on to Tory Lanez and Eric Bellinger. So now they've been beefing for over a year. This started when Bellinger called out Tory for allegedly copying his style. Of course, Tory responded on Hate to Say and addressed it in a couple of interviews. Bellinger's finally had enough, so he responded on a song called Yikes, and here's him telling Big Boy why he felt like he had to respond at this point.
I never even intended on responding. Everybody was like, what you, man, I ain't even worried about it. It's a song. Cool. He wanted to get that off. Cool. But I kept seeing him, and the way that he was talking in these interviews and was with such disrespect, it was like, okay, cool. I'm going to go ahead and head to the studio.
When you heard, like, this going to be your favorite song, did you feel like that was a direct from you?
The second time I did. I didn't think that just because we have songs together that I said it on. already have been working together. We did some songs together. We was cool. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never had no issue, but the thing is, he just did them interviews, and it was like, okay.
All right, so Tory said sort of that Eric Bellinger is doing this just for attention, trying to go viral, but do you feel like he actually has a case here? Do you feel like Tory's copied his style and been disrespectful in interviews?
Tory gave him credit on the song. Yes? I could have sworn that that's what happened.
On Hate to Say?
One of these tracks, I'm forgetting which one. But Tory, if this is the same guy, Tory gave him credit. And how this shit spiraled out of control, I don't know. I could be wrong.
Well, this guy's saying that, and this is what is tripping me out. This guy's saying Tory bit like a little tagline. Like, are you kidding me? You know how like Trey Songz used to say, yeah, like yeah, or this one is the panties, whatever it is. Like that's the thing we beefing over. Not even like the cadence. Right. Not even like it felt a little petty, but I understand. And by the way, I know this is a different world with R&B and kind of trademarking your sound and R&B is mostly about a connection to the listener and more of an intimate connection. So I understand him being a little bit mad, like, yo, Tory, you jacking my shit too. Tory, and I think this is the thing, it'll probably plague him for the rest of his career and also affect his legacy. Everybody's looking at Tory like he's just the biggest, like, copycat artist. And whether it's Cassidy saying he's stealing how he freestyles, whether it's another rapper who says you stole my beat and you, like, kind of used a little bit of my rhymes. Yeah. Now Eric Bellinger is saying this. And by the way, I can't say Eric Bellinger isn't in his right. Usually I would say cloud chasing. I would definitely be like, you cloud chasing like a motherfucker. But when Tory Lanez was going on his press run, and he's very open, he never
talking reckless about this guy?
Every time his name came up, he was like, nah, we're not trying to put nobody on.
Okay, I did see that. Yeah. So this is the guy who Tory gave credit. Now it's just some petty shit that's going elsewhere.
Yeah, so I can understand him feeling a little bit disrespected and him saying, you know what, if I'm feeling disrespected by you, and even though you might have a bigger platform, I just came out, now I'm gonna drop a diss track on you. So I'm not even mad at him for this.
Can I say I don't give a fuck about none of this?
Come on, Wayno, go ahead, player.
Honestly, I don't give a fuck about none of this. Like, I mean, it makes no sense. It's like, Eric Bellinger, this is Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez, this is these niggas is singers, man. Like listen, I like Tory Lanez. I really like Tory Lanez, but Eric Bellinger and Tory Lanez beefing over what? This is what beef is over now.
R&B niggas really beef. I mean, Trey Songz and August Alsina almost got in it.
Yeah,
it's just, I just don't got the time for this shit, man. Like,
come on and make the time, goddammit.
Nah, man, it just don't make sense to me. It's just like, who cares, yo? People actually care about this shit? Or I think that people are gonna care more about like the interview, he said this, he said that, than the actual songs that come out.
Of course, people care about beef. This is hip hop.
Yeah, but this shit is pointless.
You ever listen or watch like anything in hip hop? Of course, the music's good, but like you just watch hip hop for a month and nobody beefing, like, shit boring.
Yeah. Like, yo, somebody gotta talk about pulling out the chopper.
Where's the fucker at? You know what I mean? Or maybe just because I run.
All these niggas talk about pulling out choppers. We know Tory is with it.
Tory's about that fist action, okay? And I'm just hoping that this interview don't backfire on my man Eric Bellinger when we see him in a dressing room with Tory, and Tory says, are we apologizing?
Are you posing for pictures? What's popping?
Everybody can get out right now. Because everybody can leave right now. We can get this shit rocking.
Right. By the way, to your point, you are right. On Hate to Say, what Tory actually said, he said, listen, yes, some of you guys I have been inspired by, but I never really jacked you. And even further expound on it, interviews to say, listen, I never really, if I'm gonna jack some shit, like really jack it, I'm gonna jack it verbatim, but that's because I'm paying homage.
Yeah.
Have I been inspired? I've been inspired, but a lot of you niggas have been inspired by me, or I've written shit for you.
But he gave this guy credit, if I remember correctly, in some type of print form or something. Text, whatever.
I don't know, but look, now we talk about people saying he jacking this shit, right? But all of these new artists jack everybody's shit. All of them sound exactly the same. Tory, I actually like his album, but it sounded like a compilation of him featuring him as other people. Like, and his shit is fire, but it's just like, remember we was talking about Diddy with the originality shit, right? With originality and a person saying, yo, well, this is how, there's no diversity. Everybody's just doing this. This person, like, all right, he got red dreads, I'm gonna get purple dreads. He got a tat on this side, I'm gonna get a tat on that side. It's like, does that shit matter or not anymore?
You know what Tory said in this record?
What?
He says the same shit you're saying, because that's a popular critique of him. He says, who gives a fuck if I'm getting on niggas' songs and beats and I'm killing it?
Yeah,
he says, if I was getting on this shit and it wasn't popping, and you claiming, oh, your sound like this, whatever. And he right, because I hate to say so. Not gonna lie, it kind of got me a little. I was reminiscing like this sound like a Drake, one of those two birds, one stone type of joint.
That's the joint where he's rapping.
Fucking
a lot, right?
bodied it.
No.
And when a nigga body it, shit, I don't know.
That's why I can't. That's why I can't dispute a lot of it, because when I listen to Tory album, it's like it's him on the whole song, but it sounds like 3 different people. But every style he doesn't sound bad. Like he's not saying shit that sounds bad. So it's like, does that? I don't even know anymore, man. The fuck.
If I can jump in for a second.
Yeah.
Let's not give Diddy too much credit. That's my guy. But he did not invent the remix. I don't know how far you go back, but the remix was invented by a guy named Shep Pettibone.
Okay.
Diddy claimed that. Diddy was stealing and robbing, taking people's beats, taking people's music. Sting from the Police actually took Diddy to court, and Diddy was paying $2,000 a day off of that Missing You track. So I just want to throw that out there with regards to Diddy saying, "Oh, let's be more creative, yada yada yada." You know, that's the pot calling the kettle black.
But at the same time, if we're talking about the Missing You record, that's a sample. Did he really steal? He didn't steal the record. If you
no, he stole that.
He stole the record. That's a record that's out.
He stole it. He had
How
to
he
pay
steal
for it. Sting from the Police said, yeah, he was paying me because he did not ask for permission.
All right, now if he didn't ask for permission, right? If he didn't ask for permission, that's another issue. But they sampled the record and he rapped on it. That's hip hop is
stealing.
Predominantly hip hop. I wouldn't say
that's knowingly stealing. That's why he was penalized. I'm just trying to point out some of the things with regards to credibility, and then going back to what you said. I think Tory Lanez is influenced by the current trend and the wave of music. You know, working at labels,
right.
Everything gets put into a certain area, and the label say, "Hey, can you give us a track that sounds like so and so?" That's just what it is.
Right, but what I was saying back to the point about the Missing You record is, if he would have sang it, that would have been like, now it's stealing technically because if he didn't pay for it and he put it out, right? But we're talking about using styles. If you sample a record, Feel So Good by Mace is a sampled record. I can't remember, is it the Gap Band? I don't know, I can't remember who they sampled that record from, but hip hop, everybody sampled James Brown, right? Like, so is that stealing? I don't think that form is stealing.
Yes, that was stealing, and that's why, I don't want to go too far back, but I worked at labels back in the late 80s, and there was so much stealing by way of James Brown that they started creating companies to track down who was fucking stealing and to make you pay. That's why De La Soul, Biz Markie, and a host of others, that's why their royalties were held up, because they had to pay out the money to people who they fucking stole from.
Well, I don't think, now, to your point about that, I don't think it's stealing. They were sampling and they just didn't know the business. Like, they didn't have systems implemented. They didn't have systems
That was blatantly stealing. Call it what you want, but
sampling a person's record is stealing?
It was legally determined. You took this without asking for fucking permission, and you're gonna pay. Whether your intentions.
I feel like you guys are arguing semantics.
Yeah, it's something different.
I'm talking about sampling a record. I'm talking about sampling a record and rapping on a record or singing on a record, however you want, versus him saying, you using a record without my permission. That's two totally different things. Now, taking somebody's style, like if you took somebody's words, that's why they have interpolation. If you rap, if you say take over, the break's over, but you switch it around, that's still Jay-Z's words. Now, in rap, they don't usually run down for interpolations in that sense, but in singing, they do. That's why James Brown, his people would pursue it more, because singing is totally different from rap. They don't even like to let rappers sample most of their music.
I'm just saying, don't give Diddy too much credit. That's all I'm saying.
I guess.
Okay. All right, so some more music coming out on March 30th. The Cash Money soundtrack for the documentary is called Before Anything. 18 songs. A lot of big features on here. Gucci, Migos, Young Thug, Kodak Black, Snoop. One person is missing, Lil Wayne, not on the Cash Money doc soundtrack. Should this even come out without Wayne on it?
Of course. I mean, like, what you gonna do? Like,
No.
What I mean is that if we wait until their issues are fixed, we'll never get the soundtrack.
Right.
Because, again, it seems like even though they're posing the club popping bottles, like they might be still years removed from settling their legal issues, and clearly that's probably what played a part here. Other than that, we would like for Wayne to be on it, but contractual reasons, it can't be on it.
Put the project on hold. You can't do shit by way of Young Money, Cash Money, without including Lil Tucci, Lil Wayne. I'm sorry. Hold the project up, stop it, get the business right, and come back. He's considered the greatest rapper by a lot of people alive today. You can't discard him over the legal issues or tension or feuding or whatever the fuck is going on now. And yes, they were posing in a club together recently. Hey, they want to work out, or Lil Tucci wants to work out the finances. I don't want no fucking smoke. I don't want nothing going on until I get my goddamn Skrilla.
And Birdman clearly does not want to pay. So if he's trying to get paid off some other shit, the guy who don't want to work with you again until he gets paid, if you're not paying him, you're going to have to put out the shit without him.
Yeah, so every time I see you, it's going to be love, love, love. We're going to take a picture. We're going to hug. They might even kiss on the lips again. Who the fuck knows?
But this is not like a Cash Money compilation album. This seems like just current of today when you look at all the artists that's on the shit. I mean, Juvenile's not on here. They don't got no Lost BG verses. They don't got Boo and Gotti on here. Like, this doesn't seem like a Cash Money. It's a Cash Money documentary, but it's not like they was trying to recreate stuff from the past. It's like they doing what's for today. You know, I mean, Wayne is not on it. It's unfortunate that Wayne is not on it, but duh, we knew he wasn't gonna be on the shit. Like, this is not a
Actually, I thought he was gonna be on it.
Yeah, so look, according to like the blast.
No, you know why? Because it feels like Wayne could complain on stage and be disgruntled all he wants, but when Daddy come around, you're gonna be posing.
He still got a
Why
club.
would you say it like that?
Wayne still has to clear
he
it though.
calls him his father, right?
Yeah.
But Wayne still
That's my son.
He has to clear it though. Like, if he wanted Wayne on here, Wayne has to say okay. Wayne is not okay and nothing until his shit is fixed.
But as well, if Wayne does appear on other people's projects, Birdman has okay that. So again, it might be.
When the last time he was on somebody else's shit?
I mean, he was on Dame Lillard shit, like, and that came up with. Listen,
Come on, man. This nigga said Damian Lillard.
He was.
I'm talking about nobody don't listen to Damian Lillard like that. I'm talking about like a rapper. Like, when's the last time Lil Wayne was on another rapper's album?
He was on
feature on his own shit.
Okay,
Him and 2 Chainz did that.
Okay, him and 2 Chainz.
That was like 3 years ago.
A couple months ago, he was on Kodak Black song, Kodak Dreaming or whatever.
yeah.
So again, Birdman is clearing stuff. I don't know what the fee he's clearing it for, but he's clearing stuff, so he's allowing him to do features, which means that if and he could stop everything.
Yeah.
Because that's the reason why he could stop everything. If he says, yo, I'm coming out with a Cash Money joint, son, could you give me a verse? Again, we see that they have a relationship where it's hot and cold, or
I mean,
we don't know what it
but
is.
music is like that.
I expected it.
Yeah, music is like that. I mean, this shit could have probably been all of Wayne, and then he could have been like, nah, I'm taking him off the shit. You never know. And that's why I said that picture, don't let that picture deceive you. They took a picture together. That didn't mean that they was going to be back in the studio and all of that shit.
So the most recent reports are saying negotiations are so hostile that, like, at the end of it, they're not going to have any ties, business or personal. But again, we never know until it's actually.
Hostile to what degree, though?
Can't say. That apparently they just can't even be friends or family after it.
Listen, money is a serious thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a serious
I
issue.
still think they're going to be up and live the Sunday after that shit is finalized. They're going to be popping more bottles, man. Again, that's some stuff where I think the business will work itself out. Will they be happy how both parties be happy how it gets worked out? Probably not. But do I think publicly they'll ever not be around each other or not be affectionate?
What's dope on this shit is though the Rez Deshaun is on there. That's the kid that got the Hardaway record, right? Him and Young Greatness. I mean, it looks like an opportunity for, NBA YoungBoy. He's still on the come up. It's a few people that's on the come up on here, so looks like an opportunity for people more than anything. Rollo too. Rollo got a record on there.
I'm pretty sure Birdman's an EP, right? The executive producer of this thing. And Birdman shows a lot of love to the newer rappers who are coming up. Like of course, we saw him and Thug, but not only that, like, he fucks with Kodak. Kodak spoke very highly of him. NBA YoungBoy, he shows love to a lot of these guys who came from the street, especially if they're from Louisiana, which NBA YoungBoy is.
Yeah.
And while the public might perceive Birdman as, oh, you signed with Birdman, or you fuck with Birdman, he's gonna take all your money, this and third. By the way, Birdman just dropped a joint mixtape with NBA YoungBoy.
Yeah, right.
So again, the perception of the fans and the perception of a lot of these young artists of Birdman is something completely different.
Absolutely, and people just don't know people's business. Like, a lot of shit is based off assumption and what they Google. Like, Google gives suggestions. It doesn't answer every question. Like, people take Google as a literal word, like it's from God or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, they just really assume, and they don't know the business dealings of how shit goes, so.
Okay.
You know?
All right, so we got one more topic. Post Malone, so Beer Bongs and Bentley's his new album. It seems like it's finally coming soon. His manager, Dre, uploaded the album layout to Instagram stories. We know it's going to feature 18 songs. The only one that we can tell so far is on there is Rockstar, and Psycho will probably be on it. Now, there's a lot of big projects coming out. Cardi's dropping. It looks like The Weeknd might drop a full album, but we know that Post Malone does super well whenever he drops a single. Do you guys think he could have one of the biggest first weeks or just general huge album sales this year?
I think this is going to tell me a lot about the streaming era. Post Malone, even though he's a rapper, when he drops songs, they perform like he's a pop star. In terms of, they shoot to the top of the charts, they last for a really long time. But if we think about his album sales last time, he wasn't selling like over 300,000 first week. He did well, and it stayed on the charts for a long time, but his album performed not like a hip-hop album, but like a pop album, which means not too big first week numbers, but consistently each and every week is top 10. Streaming, he's been doing amazing. If his album does what in the streaming world it's been doing in terms of the songs, he might have a big ass first week. And I think that'll tell me a lot more about the streaming era more than his music, because it always does good.
I think he's gonna have a big first week. I don't want to say the wrong beer company, but he's being endorsed by somebody now, so it's gonna be
Bud Light,
Bud Light,
something like
yeah,
that.
something like that. So there's gonna be big ad dollars behind it, you know, because I've already seen one of his songs in a commercial, so it's gonna be received well. I mean, he's going from project to project, like elevating himself. Like his records get better with time. I haven't listened to a full length like project. I usually get into like the singles mostly.
Yo, Stoney was a great album, though. That's the
That
thing,
shit
and I
was
feel like there are more
Stoney?
songs on there that could have been bigger
That
than the
shit
Bieber
was-
record. Like, so I think now that his profile is bigger, he might do well. It's a
My
great
favorite
project.
Post Malone song is I Say, I think.
Yo, when
Did
I
that-
first,
did that make
But you
any
haven't
albums?
listened to the whole.
I never listened to
Album?
one of his whole albums. No, like the first time I found out about Post Malone, I went to one of his shows, and Uzi was opening for him. This was in like Santos. This was a while ago, and then I just started fucking with him on SoundCloud, and then what's the joint, Graduation. I really got into his singles. I never really gave a chance to listen to a full-length album from him.
Yeah, but I think that's interesting about him, that he can drop songs that take off by themselves, but the full projects are also really good. He's not just like a single kind of guy, so be interesting to see how it does.
I have listened to his full album. I like him as an artist. Am I anticipating his new album? No, and I don't say that to be weird or disrespectful. I think my generation, we're understanding with new projects that come out, and the newer generation is more critical. They're quick to say, "Oh, this is trash," if they don't like it. But I'm looking forward to it. Anticipating it, I don't know. But I like him as an artist. Under 20 songs. I think he's playing it smart because he does get a lot of radio support. And radio still does matter in today's game.
Yep, and he's another one. He got a big Coachella performance coming up, so let's see if we get new music before that happens.
Definitely
as
has
well.
those festival records.
and if this next project, and like for example, Uzi dropped a project about 6 months ago. They're talking about dropping another project, right? Or maybe more than 6 months ago. I might be tweaking, but his project I felt like lasted so long. If he drops another project that lasts so long, we have to look at him like, I don't know if it's because he's white, but his projects is lasting way longer, or maybe he's just making the best music, right? His projects last way longer than what we expect in the microwave era. Like Culture 2 came out and we're still enjoying it now, but in like 3-4 months you might be like, Migos, what's up? Give us another one. With Post Malone, we're gonna, if it plays out anything like Stoney, we might be enjoying this until mid-2019, if it drops soon.
I mean, the key to the game is when you're making music is to make shit that can last forever. You know, you want to be touring off this shit like we was talking about yesterday with the big timers. You want to be in the future with it, you know. So.
But for 14-year-olds, that's hard to do because they move on to shit quick.
I mean, somewhat, but I'm just saying about like the music that he makes. Like, I think Graduation is gonna be a song that's played forever because people are gonna graduate forever, right? So as long as he's making songs that speak to real things, he'll be good, or things that's just fun. Like Psycho is fun, you know. Rockstar is fun. I think he'll be good. Like, when is this dropping? There's no date on it yet?
Yeah, no date, but.
And I think, honestly, I think the record label is playing it really safe because he previewed and he announced his album title in 2016. He previewed Rockstar in 2016, early 2016. That came out 2017. And I think the only reason why they're not forcing the music out is that he's still dominating the charts.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you don't want to flood the charts with too much stuff and oversaturate the market. I think that's what Uzi's label is trying to do to not oversaturate the market. But with him, it's like let it die off the charts before we put something else out.
It's safe to say that Post Malone is here to stay, right?
Yeah,
I thought he was out here after White Iverson, yo.
Yeah, a lot of people did.
He went on that press run, he got killed by every outlet. They thought he was out of here.
Yeah, he just gotta be a more of a music guy, not just, you know, I'm gonna chill on the interview. Some artists, I can accept that from a lot of artists. Like if they know that an interview is not their strong point, chill out on it and just let your music speak for itself.
I think his newer stuff has more of a, and I don't want to use the word conceptual so fast. It has more of a broad perspective in terms of the creative process. White Iverson was just something kind of like of the times, you know, it was trying to like, I guess, maybe react towards what was going on in society. I think it's the process that has something to do with whether songs have lasting capability, durability, and I think that's the type of music he is giving. Have you heard his entire album? Or just pieces of it?
We talking about this upcoming
Post
one?
Malone, past album.
Yeah, Stoney. I love Stoney. Like, even the new tracks they added, like amazing.
Okay.
So his shit's
I'm gonna go back and listen to it because I never got a chance to go through the whole thing.
You should have.
Post Malone, the way how he makes hooks, they're meant to be like #1. So it's kind of like Sway Lee, where you know, like once their voice and how they attack a hook, it's like, okay, this shit is to be played in Zimbabwe and go to Switzerland and then go to Australia, and that's the music that's doing well. So
Yo, that's a fact. When I'm overseas, kids always ask about him.
About Post?
Post Malone, he's that guy.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
All right, guys, that's our show for today. And actually, we're gonna take a little mid-season break, so we'll see you back here in a few weeks.